It entered service from Gateshead on February the 19th, 1949. Repainted in BR green with orange and black lettering in October 1951. Allman, the heart of Midlothian, the North Briton from Newcastle, plus the upflying Scotsman into and from Newcastle. Perishables such as fish, meat and some fruit. A total of 200 were built by English Electric between 1958 and 1962. They were for a time the pride of British Rail's early diesel fleet. They had been part of the 1950s modernisation plan. D396 was well suited to freight workings due to her impressive brake force. Here she is trained up with a long freight including grain hoppers, container traffic, cement and coal hoppers. Assignment after the war to arrive at Southampton needed 480 wagons to transport them to their destinations. Later still, bananas were imported from the Canary Islands. With this ever-increasing traffic to the southern region, with an empty train of vans heading for the docks and loading. Well, firstly, the wagons were divided up into 10 wagon rakes. Here, of course, is a USA tank 30071 doing the shunting duties. Then in the late 1950s, She was sadly scrapped on the 30th of November 1964. Let's now enjoy some of this lovely train running, imagining the above scenario of a holiday express and thoughts of farms, cottages, hotels, seaside fun, ice cream, fish and chips, but not necessarily all at the same time, and all the things that made these simpler times so wonderful. Representing the Terriers, here is number 751 in South Eastern Chatham livery, complete with a South Eastern Chatham birdcage coach from Hornby. Of course, the locos in use on the line branch would have been London South Western liveried. The London South Western Railway also tried its O2s. It would not be until 1913 that the solution for traction was found, in the elegant shape of a pair of London South Western Adams radial tanks of 442 wheel arrangement. These having been made redundant from suburban services by electrification schemes, coupled and had a front bogie and radial truck that guided the driving wheels around the tight curves, and they had an anti-roll bar arrangement which kept them steady, and a churn of water was often delivered there by rail. Mainline trains from London Waterloo to Exeter would stop at Axminster and either detach coaches for the branch or set down passengers to transfer to the branch line train in the bay. Crew feel confident, however, and ready the loco and head off to pick up the train. Surprise visitor in the shape of a tiny Ruston shunter, come to pick up one wagon of supplies for a nearby facility.
Railway owners to follow the example and dispatch trains of refreshment up and down the land. Cheers and good health.
To take the train out and away from the dockside railway, 2 Dapol B4s have been entrusted with the heavily loaded train. Over the train to the mainline freight locomotive, a rather stunning Bachmann GWX Rod 280. So as the special beer and cider train heads off, I'll now issue a challenge. class members were named after the merchant navy shipping lines involved in the Battle of the Atlantic, and latterly those which used Southampton docks. Originally streamlined when built in March 1945, in fact, all three of my Hornby Rustons are in action to bring you my tribute to Hornby's centenary year. Centre had a special offer on their 4TC sets made by Bachmann. Despite being quite a price still, I was tempted and purchased one. As you can see here, the model is exquisite and fully captures the look and feel of these units. 4TCs were converted from Mark I Loco hauled coaches. Driving control was via the Southern Region 27-way control jumper. Power 35,000 people. So smaller towns continued to be supplied by churns. Having been displaced from express passenger duties by newer locos, Dean singles found use on express milk trains in their last days, supply, which is to say, it would not be uncommon to find Great Western plated underframes operating in and out of southern-based creameries. An SR M7 arrives with 2 coaches and 2 milk tanks. Shortly after, a Class 14 060 Teddy Bear diesel hydraulic is observed on its way with 4 more loaded tankers. Cleaned, the outside of the tanks were not, and became very smelly of stale milk. Single to a BR Blue Class 47. Lots and lots of scope for modellers to portray this interesting flow of freight. This is also another chroma key experiment with minimal lighting. This time I had 2 angled 500k lights above the layout and 1 directional 5700k lamp in line with the loco and wagons. It can be seen that on occasions this overcame the weaker lamps at the top. to the London South Western Railway for use on the Lyme Regis branch when it was first opened. However, despite being capable little engines, the layout of the track did not suit them. Around 4 decades later, we have this BR liveried Terrier. Again, it's well running and a stunning little model. And fully captures the look of these sets. The driver has now changed ends into the driving cab of the 2-coach set. He has full control of the locomotive, while the fireman remains on the footplate to see to all the needs of his charge. Point work is not a problem for this set. Terry's book does not have a and a useful 1160 horsepower, these locos were well liked. As you can see, I fitted the optional front valance on the DJ Loco. I'm more than happy with their trains. They run smoothly and controllability is good, slightly better on the DJ Loco, while the Hornby model runs more silently. I'd realised how much Ren stuff would be worth now, but never mind, I got her when I wanted her and she's been with me ever since. Lovely engine, a little bit grindy. As you can see, it handles this prototypical freight train with ease. Now the little loco is coupled up to a 3-coach Maunsell coach set, probably the limit of the real thing, yet she handles this train very well too. Oddly, as time went on, her traction became a little more diminished. I've concluded this is due to grease on the rails, but possibly the old ring was plain sailing, however. My inner loop is slightly tighter, and I found that with the as-supplied couplings, significant buffer lock was experienced. D1s. It's made of brass, and is beginning to feel her age, but I have her running well enough. However, These locos were designed by Samuel Johnson and were in fact three-cylinder machines, having one very high-pressure cylinder between the frames. Our train now pulls into the siding and passes by a brand new Midland locomotive for 2020. Wow! Phew! Do you need a moment? I know I do.